today for this PRT class, you're going to need a loop band, a chair, a kettlebell, and then one of the smaller bands. If you don't have one of the bands tied up will work just as well. And then if you want a cushion or a towel for your head. So we're going to just start by warming up. So just using your loop band. So feet just shoulder width apart, just take your arms up and down overhead. So just stretching out the shoulders. So just nice and level, good, and hold it there. And then just bringing your band just to shoulder, chest height, and doing your banded pull aparts. So really squeezing those shoulder blades together. Okay, into our shoulder press. So holding onto the band and just pushing up towards the ceiling. And then popping the band just behind the back of the neck just to go into your good morning stretch. So tipping forward and just stretching out the hamstrings. So shifting the weight back towards the heels. So move the band down to make it a bit more comfortable around the upper back. And then taking off your band and positioning it just underneath your feet just to prep for your deadlift. Okay, so feet just shoulder width apart, so set your shoulders and coming up. Nice and strong through those hips. Driving the hips forward, letting the hips go back. And staying over in that position for your row. So pulling back with those elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades together. So change the position of the hands, so palms facing backwards, palms facing towards one another, just to work the shoulders slightly differently. Great, okay, and take your band off. So we're just going to stretch the ankles a little bit because they can limit your squats a little bit. So just putting your foot up onto your chair and just allowing yourself to just press that knee forward over the ankle. And then switching over to the other side. Okay, then we're just going to stretch out the shoulders. So for this position, you need to come up to a wall. And it just helps work on your shoulder rotation a little bit. So keeping yourself just a little bit away from the wall. We're just going to bring the arm up. So keeping the back of the hand against the wall to a point where you feel like you can't maintain it anymore. And then we turn the hand round. So it's almost like a circle. So starting here. So trying to keep your chest facing forwards and then turn the arm round. So up, slide round, and then turn and back. And one more. And turn and come back, and then we switch and do the same to the other side. Okay, so going back as far as you can and then turn. So try and keep your chest facing forward, don't let it rotate. Just a nice rotation stretch for the shoulder. Okay, and one more. So staying down on your knees, we're just going to stretch out the hips a bit. So just bring your right leg out to the side and just sit back into that stretch. So you're getting a little bit more of a groin stretch. And the hamstring. Okay, and then switch over to the other side. So the other leg out. Just make your space. Okay, and again, just sitting back. So just playing around with different angles wherever you feel a little bit tight. And come on. Great. Okay, so we're going to do 4 main lifts. We're going to repeat those each 8 times, and we're going to do 3 sets of each. So the first one we're going to start with is our press plus with the band. So we're going to use the band, and we're going to use the power from the legs to help press the band up overhead. So if you bring the band into position, so it's not a full squat we're going into, we're just letting the knees bend and then we're pressing up. So the legs are helping us push that band up overhead. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and take a little break. So as I say, we'll do 3 sets of each. So breathing nice and relaxed. And then we start again. So loop that band into position. And again. And push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and relax. We're just going to do 1 more set of 8 and then we're going on to the next exercise. So into position, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so for the next exercise you're going to need a chair. So you can put your bands down and you're going to use your kettlebell. So this is going to be a single leg raised deadlift, so really effective for strengthening the glutes. So we're going to start with the right leg on the chair. So I'm going to just actually turn my chair sideways on so you can see. But make sure that chair is nice and stable. Okay, so the ankle and lower shin are on the chair. And we'll just, if you just focus on your deadlift principle, so using your hip hinge. So we're sitting the hips back, feeling the weight shift towards the heel as we're down in this position, and then coming forward. And 2. So again, it's a hip dominant exercise. 3, nice and strong through the shoulder. 4, 5, 6, so you should feel the glutes and the hamstring working quite strongly. 7, and 8, and we switch sides. And obviously be close to a wall if you do feel wobbly, or use your dowel. And off we go. So 1, 2, 3, so hip back, hip forward. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And put your kettlebell down. So just have a breather for a second. So we're going to do 2 more rounds of that. Okay, so let's go back to the other leg. So whichever foot is up on the chair, you can hold the kettlebell in that hand. So we're going down for 1, 2, if it acts as a counterbalance for you, you can bring this arm up as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so try and get that reach down. 6, 7, and 8. Great. Okay, little rest, and one more set of those. So you should feel the glutes and the hamstrings, and to make sure as you're doing it, you're putting that weight through the heel as you lower down. Try not to let the arm hang, so set those shoulders the whole time. Okay, so let's finish. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So have a wall if you are a bit wobbly. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we switch sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're done with that. So you can move your chair out of the way. So the next one we're going to do is a half kneeling kettlebell row. So we're going to put our right knee down, left leg forward, rest our forearm on our thigh, push our hip forward so we're getting a little bit of hip flexor stretch, and then we're rowing with the right hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we switch. So push forward through the hip, keep that chest up so not rounded, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Have a breather if you need to, and get ready to switch. Okay, so get that press forward through the hip, and lifting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we've just got one more set of those. Okay, so push forward through the hip. So eyes just looking down and forward, chest is up, bringing that handle right to the ribs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we're going to finish. The last exercise in this round is going to be our reverse lunge. So whichever leg is going back, we're going to keep the kettlebell in that arm. So stepping back with the right leg and coming forward. So this is the working leg, the front leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, keeping your body nice and straight. 6, 7, and 8. Switch sides. 1, 2, so push this leg to Get yourself back to that start position. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and then hip hinge to lower that weight down and give yourself a breather. So 2 more sets of this to go. Okay, and again, hinge to pick up the weight. Stepping back with that right leg again. 1, 2, set those shoulders. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Switching sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hinge and lower that weight down. Last set, nearly there, well done. Keep it up. Whew, short of breath now. Alright, so hinge to pick that weight back up. And back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we switch. 1, 2, 3, push with that front leg. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Great job. So we can put our kettlebell down. Alright, so we're going to go into some incline press-ups. We're going to do these at the wall, or if you have something that a table, you could do them at a worktop. We want to again be just doing 8 repetitions. So, aiming the chest for the wall, the heels are going to come off, and we're just going down and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if you're finding it easy, try and move your hands further down the wall. Okay. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so there's 1 more set to go. So as well, try not to, as you're going down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, keep them apart, and don't lean your chin forward. Okay, last 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so the last thing we're going to finish off with is a little, what's called a glute ladder. So we're going to pop the green band just above the knees. So we're going to start at 10 repetitions and work our way down to 1 or 0. So we're going to start lying down on your back. If you want a small cushion underneath your head, but nothing too big because we're going to be coming up into bridge. Okay, walk those heels close towards the bottom. So we're lifting the bottom up and down 10 times first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the 10th one we stay there and we press out for 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And down we go. On to 9 next. So 9 lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pressing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and down. 8 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 pushing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And down you go. Okay, 7 now. So 7 bridges. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Pressing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Into 6 lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pushing out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Into 5 lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pushing out 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Onto 4. So 1, 2. So it's starting to build up. 3 and 4. Pushing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into 3. 1, 2, 3 lifts. 3 pressing out. 1, 2, 3. 2 lifts. 1, 2. Pressing out. 1, 2. Last one. Lifting up for 1. Last push out. Come back down and pull those knees to the chest and take a stretch. Great job. Well done. So we're going to take off that band. Not very elegantly. Alright, let's just let the knees just roll side to side. Okay, and coming up into half kneeling. Bring that left leg forward and just push forward till you feel the stretch in the front of that hip flexor. Let's extend that leg and go into that bow, stretching out the hamstring. Switch sides. So pressing into that hip flexor. Okay, and then tipping forward into the hamstring stretch. Feeling down the back of the leg. Coming all the way up into standing. Reach the arms forward, pushing the shoulder blades apart. And then reach the hands behind and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Bring the arms out to the side and down. And one more big circle up and side and down. And we're all done. So well done, and hopefully see you again soon.